Today we're going to be looking at how we can build a profitable trading strategy using any indicator on TradingView. We're going to be using AI. I'm going to be using Grok today because Elon Musk keeps filling up my Twitter, telling me how good it is. So without further ado, let's get over to the charts. Okay, as you can see, here we are on TradingView. I've written a couple of rules down. The reason being is we're going to be using Grok 4, and I have done a little bit of research before getting into this. First thing is that you can use Grok 4. It is quite a hefty price at $30 a month for the minimum package and $300 per month for the most expensive. I have tried both. The heavy one allowing you using multiple agents to create a trading strategy. Then you have Grok 4 Expert, which really gives you one agent that goes away and searches the web to try and find a good strategy for you. Now, neither or actually gave me really satisfactory results just by asking them to go away and look for some strategies. This is what we come up with, and this is the best that I actually come up with. On the 45-minute, this is what it looks like, and on the 15 and 30 minutes, this is what we look like as well. So what I've done is I've put together a prompt, and we're going to be using indicators that we choose from TradingView, from their open source library. TradingView has an absolutely huge library of open source scripts. They're all free. You don't have to know how to code. They have a wonderful editor where you can just copy and paste everything in, and you can code all of it. And you can use Grok or ChatGPT or even Claude to actually create the strategies for you. Now, if this seems a bit way over the top of your head, don't worry, I've got your back as well. I've been actually coding trading strategies for around 4 years now. Every single day I code around 3 strategies, and all of those strategies I have put onto the 𝗕𝗏𝗟𝗃 website. I've also created a free course where you can see a full explanation on how to use bots and trade with bots up in the cards above. You don't need to know how to code, it's just a one-click situation, and I've built a free school that I help you to actually go through all of those lessons without ever having to touch AI or any code at all. Okay, back on TradingView, as you can see, we're going to start off with the most simple parts, and then we'll take them over to Grok, and I'll give it my prompt to try and put all the indicators together. We're going to be using an NNFX plan, which I'll go through in a minute. First things first, if you're not a regular user of the editor on TradingView, there is a Pine editor here where you can actually build your own indicators and strategies. It's a very, very simple script, which is called Pine script. We're going to be using Pine script 5 today. I'm not going to show you how to code or anything like that. AI will be doing everything for us. So we're going to be using Pine script 5. You may wonder why we're not using 6. Is because most AI agents or most LLMs are actually used to Pine script 4 and 5, and inside of TradingView there's a simple button for us to actually upgrade them to 6. So we're going to start with 5 and get the best code that we possibly can, and we'll just click on the button inside of TradingView to upgrade the code to 6. It makes it better for the LLMs, we'll get less errors, and that's just something that I've learned as we've been going along. Okay, so we know now, asking Grok 4 to give us a trading strategy with no rules or anything in advance, just asking it to find a profitable trading strategy. We know that that doesn't work, or it personally hasn't worked for me in the past. So what I've done is we've put together a short plan. Now we're going to be using the NNFX trading methods that I use in all of my strategies. This means that most of them are going to be trend following strategies, but if they're profitable, there is no hating on trend following strategies. So first of all, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding a indicator called the baseline. This is going to be giving us our trend direction. It'll be a moving average or something like that. We're going to then add 2 confirmation indicators for our entries, 1 volume indicator to confirm that there's enough volume or volatility in the market so that we don't get in choppy markets where we're going to get chopped in and out of our positions and lose all of our money. Then we're going to use an ATR band for our stop loss, and we're going to use a risk to reward for the take profit. That's going to be the plan. We could use a dynamic position sizing as well, which would increase our profit, but we're going to keep it simple today in today's video. Okay, back to Grok. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask Grok to act like it is a Pine script developer, a Pine script 5, as I said earlier. We've asked it to be to build strategies fully compliant with the NNFX strategy systems, converting the indicators that I give it to backtestable strategies. So we're going to be giving it indicators from TradingView. TradingView has a wonderful library of free indicators here. Anything that has these curly brackets on at the side allows you to go in and get the code, and that is absolutely free of charge. You're allowed to use it. They're all under the Mozilla public license, and you can use them as long as you give credit to the actual original developer. So we've asked Grok to use a baseline confirmation indicators, volume or volatility indicators, and a ATR based stop loss. We then give it some more instructions about Pine Script 5 and just some general logic about the NNFX system. If you'd like this prompt, it works very well on Claude, ChatGPT, and also on Grok. Just put prompt down in the comments below and I will happily send you my prompt. So, and then we just asked Grok to take a breath and let us know when it's ready, and we will send it the baseline indicator. So the first indicator that we're going to use is going to be the JMA. Why the JMA? Well, because we've had a lot of success with it. The JMA is the Jurik moving average. This one here by Davidtech, it has 571 downloads. If you click it, you can add it directly to your chart. You can also find it on davidtech.com/indicators. It's an absolutely free indicator that you can download and add to your chart on TradingView. What it does is it adds this baseline here when the candles are below it, and when the close is below it and the JMA is red, we're going for shorts, and when the candles are above and it's green, we're looking for longs. So what we're going to do is click on the curly braces here, and we're going to go away and copy this code, Control-C, Control-V over to Grok to ask it to create our strategy. Okay, as you can see, I've already copied and pasted it just here, and Grok's gone away. It's taken 105 seconds to develop our first actual strategy. And one thing that I have noticed about Grok is that it has actually got all of the indentation correct. I can't see any errors at the moment. It's already commented and given us ideas on how we can put all the structure together for the next indicators as well. It has indented everything perfectly, so we won't end up with any errors, and I can't see a 𝗕𝗢𝗟𝗡𝗙, which is generally a problem for all of the LLMs. So I'm going to copy this over to TradingView, and I'm going to create a new script. So what we do is we go over here, click Pine Script Editor on the corner over here, and then we go and click the little arrow next to the name, create new strategy, and we're going to paste it into TradingView, and we literally press Ctrl+S and add to the charts. As you can see, we had our first error to debug. Grok and all of the AIs or LLMs or GPTs are very good at debugging. We just literally copy and paste the errors into the chat here and it'll go away. As you can see, I've put all the errors here and it has gone away, and it is actually created in 26 seconds a debugged version of the code. So I'm now going to copy this over to TradingView as well, paste it, save it, and upload that as well. Okay, we can now add that to the charts, and as you can see, we have a backtest version of our strategy. As you can see, in a couple of seconds, we've managed to actually debug and backtest a single indicator. Next part is to add some confirmation and volatility indicators, add our stop losses and take profits, and just build a general structure around our strategy. So this is a great first step. It's probably one of the first times that it's actually only taken me 2 prompts to actually get to a very simple strategy. Although the backtesting results don't look great, they certainly look better than some of the other ones that we looked at earlier in this video. So currently we have 8,000 entries, a drawdown of 3%, and a total P&L of 3.3% as well. So let's start now by going through and adding a couple of other indicators to allow us to improve on this and confirm our entries, reduce the number of entries, and get a much better backtesting results. So for our first confirmation indicator, what we're going to do is we're going to add another indicator to the chart. We're going to use the trend Akkam. Now this is something that I haven't actually backtested for a long time. This one here by Davidtech, 502 downloads. It's a pretty cool trading indicator, very much like the other one here. We're looking for it to go green and price to be above it when we're looking for longs, and the other way around when we're looking for shorts, we're looking for it to be red and price to go below it. Now that will be our first entry. So what I've done is I'm going to click on this here. We're going to copy the code from here. We're going to copy all of that code over to Grok over here. We're going to paste it in here just like so, and then we're going to ask Grok to go away. Now it took 190 seconds to come up with this. It's built a new trading strategy called the NNFX strategy version 2 with baseline and confirmation 1. As you can see, it's respected all the rules, giving us all of the actual options to remove and add any of the actual features. So let's copy and paste this. Let's go over here. Let's take it and put it over to our settings. Now I'm going to put it and overwrite the other one. You can create a new one if you like. As you can see, we've had an actual error. I think that's probably simply because we're missing a space from here. This is something that happens quite often in LLMs. We're missing spaces all over the place. And it didn't do too bad. I mean, it was a couple of errors. Let's go and have a look in the actual settings here. It seems like there's no entries whatsoever. Maybe it's because it's the cross confirmation. Let's update the report and see whether or not we're getting any better results. As you can see, our results look much better. We now have 4% in comparison to buy and hold. Obviously, that's not that much. We have a 42% profitability on the actual strategy. We can play around with all the settings. We can add the cross confirmation as earlier and update the report. We can inverse anything like this to see whether it works better with inverting. I've got to say the update report on TradingView is a pain in the butt, but anyway, I didn't create it, so I guess I have to put up with it. And as you can see, we're getting better and better. The actual number of closed trades. We can play around with this, or we could use the 𝗕𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗍𝗓 to try and find the actual best settings, and it'll do all of this for us. So we're going to add one more last indicator. As you can see, we've already added the stop losses and take profits to the actual ATR, and they've actually even added a trailing stop loss. We can remove the trailing stop loss, and by just adding a hard stop loss instead of a trailing stop loss, we've increased our profitability. Okay, for the next indicator, I'm going to use the TDFI, which is the Trend Direction Force Index by 𝗕𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗃 here. This is a brilliant indicator that I absolutely love. Very simple. When it goes green, we're looking for longs, and when it goes red, we're looking for shorts. Going to click on these curly brackets. We're going to copy and paste that over to Grok, ask it to add it. So I'm just going to copy and paste it here and say as this indicator as the second confirmation indicator. And this will take quite a while for it to go away. Grok takes a long while to think about things, but I suppose we can go and drink some tea or make some tea whilst it's thinking. Okay, it started coding, so we're back, and as you can see, it's gone away and it's actually added the actual first two indicators here, and we've actually added the TDFI here with the use sort of bowl, so we can actually activate or deactivate it however we want. We can actually confirm, inverse it, like all of the other indicators as well from the 𝗕𝗏𝗃 suite. We've added all of the logic, and it's gave us a long and short logic as well. That's brilliant. We're going to let it finish coding because it's getting a bit long. And then we're going to copy this over to TradingView as soon as it's done. Perfect. Right, let's copy this over to TradingView. We're going to save and update on chart. There's obviously an error just here. That one there. We got the spaces again. And we have a double if statement just here. Always helps to know a little bit of code. And we have a double plot here. It's very strange. Grok does tend to double up on some of the lines. And we're good to go. Perfect. Right, okay, so we're going to go away and change some of the settings. This has actually made things a little bit worse. Let's go and have a look at the settings like we did earlier. Right, by adding that on there, as you can see, I'm playing around with a couple of the settings a little bit. We can see that we've actually managed to get up to 18%. The max drawdown was only 4%. We've actually reduced the number of trades all the way to 562. And we have a 37% win rate, which is pretty low. But as long as everything's profitable, we have a profit factor of 1.2, which means that we are profitable. So as you can see, the equity curve is looking a little bit better. We're always in the green, although it has slightly slumped over here. So the idea isn't to really create the best strategy in the world, it's just to show you that Grok or AI in general can build you trading strategies as long as you stick to a plan. Next and final indicator that I'm going to add is the ADX. I'm going to go over to indicators up here. We're going to be using ADX.MA, and what we're going to do is we're going to simply ask Grok to ask us to add this here. We're going to copy that like this. And we're going to go over to Grok and ask this to be added as well. But as it is a simple indicator, I'm going to have to add some rules. So what I've said is that I've said that we'd like to add the indicator as others, but this one's a bit more simple. There isn't any rules, so add some rules like adding the able to activate or deactivate it. Also add a static threshold, because what we'd like is we'd like the ADX when it's above 20, as you can see on the side here. When it's above 20, for example, we want to be able to take longs or shorts. When it's below, we want to keep out of trades, which means that there's not much volatility in the market. It's sideways moving, so we want to keep out of any trades. So we've asked Grok to add that as well, and it's thinking. So we're going to come back in a couple of seconds. Okay, it's finished coding. Let's go over, copy it into TradingView. Once again, I'm sure that we're going to have to make some changes. We're going to go over to the editor. Let's add it here to see whether we've got some changes to make. Obviously, there is here because we've copied also the Pine script thing here. And I saw at the end as well, there was that there as well to add. We need to remove those here. And we need to save. Right, we're going to have a couple of errors. Again, we're looking for a space here, because we don't create new lines. We need a new line and a space in the Pine script. Let's keep going, let's keep going. Have we updated on chart? We have indeed updated on chart. Okay, by adding that, we've actually made 1% extra. We're now up to 19%. We have a make drawdown of 5% almost, and we've decreased it to 511 trade. As you can see, we have a 37% win rate. But like I said, we weren't here today to make the most profitable trading strategy in the world. Honestly, just hope that they showed you how you can build any trading strategy or backtest any trading indicator that you find on TradingView. There's a huge marketplace of trading indicators. We're so lucky that there's so many people that have actually contributed to TradingView. You can get all of these indicators for free and backtest them easily thanks to AI. We live in a wonderful world nowadays where we don't even have to learn to code to do these things. And talking of that, if this is way above your head and you still want to learn how to bot trade, in this video here, I'm going to be showing you how to bot trade with zero coding. All of the bots are the bots that I have coded over the past 4 years. So if you fancy binging another video with me, I suggest watching this one over here. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Trade like a boss, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Come on, David, and once again he's gone to code a new strategy. He'll be back in just 5 minutes. RSI and MACD.